Welcome to episode number 7 of Bragg Boat Business, brought to you by the good people down at Cowboy Trail Brewery. Cheers to the West. If you haven't graced the threshold of the Bragg Creek Distillery, or the Hut, as it's affectionately called, get down there. It's a super fun spot with fantastic adult beverages. This week, we sit down with Dominik Von Essen of the Von Essen German Restaurant here in Bragg Creek. It was a real pleasure to get to know Dominik a bit. He is such a genuine person, and he and his family have overcome enormous obstacles to open the doors of Von Essen. We talk through that, the challenges of running a restaurant, the fulfillment he finds in being a restaurateur. Just a really fun conversation. And we even get to meet his mom, Ute. Enjoy. Excellent. So this week on Bragg Boat Business, we welcome Dominik Von Essen. Von Essen, one of the newest eateries in Bragg Creek. Welcome, Dominik.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell us, first of all, the name, Von Essen.
So really interesting about that is originally we were thinking of naming as Der Schnaps. Sorry, the Schnaps, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason for that being is Schnaps in English you spell with 2 P.
Mm-hmm.
Schnaps in German you spell 1 P. So I wanted to spell with 1 P and set the in front of it.
Yep.
Fortunately, someone in Ontario has that name.
Ah,
Yeah, a distillery, a local small distillery in Ontario.
okay.
And
Did they actually make schnapps?
Yeah, they make schnapps. German schnapps. Yeah, good old German
Nice.
schnapps. So then we were humming and hawing, and we can still do it and this and that. And then my partner actually pointed out to me that, why don't you use Von Essen? Like Essen is the word in German means eating or food,
Ah, okay.
right? So if you translate Essen to English, it's food
Food.
or eating.
Makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then we, thought about it a bit more and decided to go with Von Essen.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Beautiful name.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's your last name.
It's our surname. Yeah, it's our
Yes.
last name, family name. It builds a little bit of a heritage, I suppose.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Of course. Absolutely.
Like a brand that incorporates your name.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
And it's close to your heart too.
It is.
You're building the business. You're building your family name.
That's right. Yeah. And at first, when you choose your name and you build your business, you don't really think of anything too much. Then when it kind of starts going and people use your name and all of a sudden it's online and
It's out there.
you play with the thought of maybe having more than one location one day and all of a sudden Von Essen.
Right.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. So Von Essen, the restaurant now, has been open since when?
We opened in May of 2024.
Okay.
Let's put it that
So
way.
it's a 1-year anniversary.
It is. It
All
was.
right.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The first year in the restaurant business is the toughest, they say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. It was a tough year, but it was also a good year. We had tons of customers. The community was amazing. Community of Bragg Creek, the support of the locals, the feedback was absolutely amazing.
Excellent.
Mhm.
That's good to hear. We got a lot of territory to cover here. A lot of ground to cover.
For sure. Yes. Yes.
So let's back it up a little bit. And how did you and your family arrive at Bragg Creek to open Von Essen?
Oh, well, my parents immigrated to Canada with the intent. They always wanted to move to Austria. So me and my family, we grew up in Hamburg in Germany, which is by the sea.
Yes.
Beautiful city. We kind of grew up on the outskirts of Hamburg.
Okay.
On the land. But my parents were always wanting to move to Austria, to the mountains. And
Beautiful country.
Austria?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful
We
country.
used to go skiing all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. Once in a year, we would do a ski holiday.
Oh, fantastic.
Right, and drive down. But when I graduated school, I wanted to do a student exchange to learn better English. I was never a good learner by reading off a book. My brain always had to read the same sentence 3 times before it really stuck. I was always good with numbers, but never good reading off the book. And so in order to learn English, I knew I had to submerge myself into it.
Right.
And so there's only a few countries in the world that speak English as a language. And
Right.
so Great Britain was a bit too close to home. Australia was a bit too far.
Yep.
And so I was left with Canada or the United States. And a lot of my grandfather's family lives in Canada.
Oh, well, that makes it easy.
Yeah. So he has a few brothers that lived or have lived in Canada, and he himself lived in Canada for 2 years. And so Canada was always like on the talking, I mean, when you talk about student exchange, you talk with everyone about it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so Canada came always up. And so my parents and I one day flew to Canada to just visit. From the moment we landed, my parents were so in love with
Is
the
that
country.
right?
Yeah, so in love with the
Hey,
country.
where did you land?
Calgary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. Man, it was cold. Yeah.
Now, what time of year was it? Because that could be 12 months of the year.
Yeah,
depending on-
I don't remember exactly what time of year it was, but I know there was about this much snow.
All right. Then, yeah. So July.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Early July.
Yeah.
And so my parents fell in love with Canada, with the whiteness of it, with the connection to nature, with what Canada has to offer, and with the peace you experience
Right.
here, right? So you can drive into the mountains and don't hear a thing.
Big, wide open spaces.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so they kind of shifted their viewpoint from Austria to Canada. They started the process, and then I didn't have to do the student exchange.
Excellent. So what year would this have been in?
When they started the process, I don't know. The whole process took about 5 years, the immigration process.
Wow.
It was a long process.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was a long process. But then we came over in 2014.
Okay. So a little over 10 years ago.
That's right. 11 years exactly, pretty much. I came over in March 2014, so 11 years now.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So you came to Calgary, and then did you settle in Calgary initially, or did you...
We settled in Exshaw. It's a tiny little hamlet just before Kenmore.
For sure.
On the 1A.
Yeah.
We had a beautiful log home there that we rented at the time.
Excellent.
And that even more just got us connected to
right there. You're literally up against
home in the mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really like, oof, you don't get that back home, right?
Right.
So we settled in Exshaw, and then my parents there was a few things that they wanted to do. They had some land in Luctus Arcs that was just across from Exshaw.
Yes.
And that unfortunately the property got washed away in the flood.
Yes.
Yeah. So they wanted to build a house there, but the property got washed away. And then, long story short, we ended up in Cochrane.
Okay.
And then Cochrane was a bit too busy for my parents still because, again, they're here for the peace.
Right.
And then we explored more and more. And then they explored Bragg Creek. And then they found a house here. No cell reception,
right.
no nothing.
It's spotty around here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when they're like out in West Bragg all the way at the back, all the way to the mountains.
Very nice.
And they love it. And that's kind of how we discovered Bragg Creek in the first place. And then we started settling here.
And so being a restaurateur, is this something your family has experience in, or was Von Essen kind of the first restaurant the family owned?
Yeah, excellent questions. My mother has experience in the business. She worked in many kitchens in Germany.
Okay.
Was the chef there. She's a hobby cook. She likes to cook. We like to eat, the family.
Right.
We have a big history of eating. Me and my family are really big into eating.
It's a cultural thing too, right? I mean, Germany, it's lots of good food, good hearty food.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've bartended on the side here for a couple of years, actually at Rockies.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to Rockies.
Shout out to Rockies.
I've bartended there for a couple of years, and that kind of got me in a little bit an inside of it.
Yep. Get you used to it.
Exactly. But other than that, it's not that we've had many restaurants before or tons of experience on owning a restaurant, let's say. Yeah, we just, with heart.
With heart. You have a passion for it?
My mom's key ingredients to her food is a little bit of love.
Every mom does.
Yeah, that's what she always says. It's a little bit of love.
Excellent. So you started Von Essen about a year ago.
Yes.
But the doors just didn't magically fling open and the restaurant was ready.
Oh, God. No. No, it certainly did not. We registered the company in June of 2021.
Wow.
29th of June of 2021 to be exact.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. And that's where the headache started.
So this is just kind of at the tail end of COVID, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. It all started out with an idea at home, kind of put pen to paper eventually. We registered the company before anything else because if you want to do something, you got to show something for it.
Exactly.
So we just
go for it.
Let's just do it. Let's just go to. We saw the paper in front of us in the registry. We're like, I don't know what
Is this going to be a good idea?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I had no idea what the difference is between limited and incorporated.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, it was and is an interesting journey.
First step.
It was
the first step.
Yeah, for sure.
And then what was it like finding a location?
Well, that's why we chose Bragg Creek, actually, because this very location became available.
Oh, okay. Good timing.
Yeah, there was a location available at the other mall just across here that we first looked at. This wasn't actually available at the time. And then we couldn't really come to agreement over there. And then eventually this location here in the main strip mall here became available.
Okay.
and we jumped on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, what better location?
Oh, my goodness.
In my opinion.
Yeah, so much traffic flows right through here.
Yeah.
And you got nice big windows to look out at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every location has their cons and pros, but we saw this place and we said, we should jump on it.
Jump on it,
Yeah.
absolutely. And what business was here before?
These used to be 2 units. There was
okay.
a divider wall where the lights hang over there.
Right.
That we took down. There was a frozen bison meat retail. You might remember.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, exactly. So he was over there in that unit. And at first, actually, well, his unit wasn't available. It was just this unit, this half of it. Right. And the reason why we were interested in it was because it had a kitchen, right? So we didn't have to build.
Yes, big expense.
It is, absolutely. Yeah, that's what was one of the key factors. And then that gentleman kind of got wind of us wanting or were interested in the location here, but it wasn't big enough at the time, right, to host a restaurant. So the gentleman from the frozen bison meat got wind of that we were interested, but the space at the time wasn't big enough for to having a restaurant. Right. And he volunteered to move out.
Really?
Yeah, and to give us a space.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out to that person. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, sir. It's been a long time.
Well, we can find it out later. We'll put it in the caption.
For sure. Yeah. I did buy some bison meat. It was absolutely delicious.
Right.
And then we talked to landlord, and he said, "Okay, 2 units it is." Yeah.
And so then the construction commenced.
The construction didn't start until long after that. Okay. That's where the headache started.
Is that right?
Yeah. Wow. What I've come to learn is if you want to open up a new business, no matter what it is, try to find a space that's already designed for it. That would be my number one advice for anyone out there who wants to open a restaurant, open a hair studio, whatever it is.
Good tips.
Find a space that's already designed for it. Yeah. I don't want to say that was our mistake,
but there's probably some hoops you had to jump through.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm a pro hooper now. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of entities involved, government entities, taxis, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of miscommunication here, a lot of drop balls there, a lot of red tape.
Yeah.
And a lot of red
tape. So
tape.
We'll just call the elephant out in the room at Rocky View County.
Oh, now that you said it, a lot of red tape. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I think they're starting to work on it now.
It's difficult.
It was difficult.
And you're not the first entrepreneur that has said this either, of how difficult it is to open up a business like a restaurant in Rocky View County. The red tape is ridiculous.
Well, yeah. I obviously don't know how it is now, and I hope, I wish them all the best. I hope they're working on it. It took us, I believe, 8 or 9 months just to get a development permit. And then it took us another 3 or 4 months to get our building permit.
Jeepers.
And theoretically, you're not allowed to be in the space and do anything unless you have those for insurance purposes and so on and so forth.
Good golly.
Meanwhile, you have to pay rent.
Yeah.
So
exactly. You're sitting there waiting, spending money, just waiting.
So we started on it, and it was a whole family project. Shout out to my dad. He did everything in here.
And your mom and dad's names are?
So my mom is Ute Von Essen, or Von Essen, how we would pronounce it. And my dad's name is Dirk Von Essen. He is a German master carpenter and runs his business out of Bragg Creek.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So he was our contractor in here doing all the work. And then obviously my mom and I helped where we could. And so it took us about 2 years to build this place.
My goodness.
With the red tape, with the things that were going on in the background. About 2 years to build this place.
My goodness.
Yeah, on the day we opened, we were down to, I usually don't talk about these things, but we were down to our last penny. I mean, seriously, to the last penny, privately, business-wise, down to last penny. And I didn't even have a point of sale system. I just opened the door.
Right.
I'm like, it was some late April. And when people came in, I said, sorry, cash only. And yeah, that's how we started. We started essentially with nothing. And now we're here.
And now you're here. Yeah, established,
sort of. And a year on the sun.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're a very nice addition to the community.
Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Of course. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about the menu.
Well, what would you like to know?
It looks delicious.
It is delicious.
And I love the simplicity of the menu. I think it speaks to what I attribute to genuine German cuisine.
Yeah. So we call it comfort food. You know, it's not a Michelin star designed menu. It's well, what would we have at home, and just finesse it a bit more and make it nice and presentable.
And that's the best food.
Yeah.
And to me, that's comfort food. You know, mom's cooking. That's
exactly, and that's where mom comes in again, right? She cooks with a little bit of love.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're from northern Germany, and there's a lot of dishes that are very local, northern, that might not be, you know, that we had to decide on. Okay, maybe we'll try that another time because that's quite specific. But so we thought about, well, what's standard German? Right, Schnitzel.
That's everybody.
I mean, that's what everyone knows about Germany. Sauerkraut, you know, Bratwurst, red cabbage. Like that's the few things that people know about German food. There's obviously so much more. So much more. But you got to start out with something, right? And so we said, okay, well, let's put schnitzel on the menu. We have a couple of goulashes on the menu, German goulash and Brauhaus goulash. Or on the menu it says Deutsches Gulasch. Deutsch means German, right? Deutsches Gulasch and Brauhaus Gulasch. Brauhaus means brew house, right? So the Brauhaus is made with pork and beer. And the
delicious.
The German goulash is made with beef and vegetable broth. The Spätzle was one thing. Honestly, that's our number one seller.
Is that right?
Yeah, our hand made in house every morning.
Fantastic.
Because we run out every day. Yeah, Spätzle. Yeah, seriously.
Super. And you do break your own breads as well.
That's correct. Yeah, my mom bakes her own bread. Everything is kept very simple. It's whole ingredients in the bread, in the food. There's no cut corners. The one thing I like to emphasize on our food is how was it made back in the day? For example, you mentioned the bread, but I just want to circle back for a second. Our schnitzel, for example, they're pan fried and butter. And then the bread, there's like 4 ingredients in it, done.
Fantastic. I love German bread.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like per se German bread, but it's our bread.
Yeah.
You know, and we serve it as a little bit of a snack beforehand. When you come in and have dinner or lunch, we'll type a few slices of bread with some aioli.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. It's amazing. You know, just something to nibble on and enhance the experience. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, people appreciate that. To give them bread and water when they sit down.
Yeah, it connects them back to Jesus a little bit.
Yeah, could be. Absolutely.
You know, also, our kitchen is very small, very, very small. And sometimes it does take a minute to get the food out.
Of course.
And so one way to gap the time is to just give people a little bit of bread.
That's right, exactly.
Right? And there's no harm in it.
That's right. You don't want to give them low blood sugar because then they get cranky.
Yeah, I had that before, for sure. Yeah.
No, for sure. It's a very intimate restaurant. It's a beautiful restaurant.
Thank you.
It's finished on the inside.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't envision it. You know, me personally, I'm not a person or that can see a space until it is finished. You know, I'm not an interior designer.
Right.
I'm not. I need to see it finished, and then I can say, well, maybe a chair here, a table here.
Yes.
You know, but until it's done, I was like, I mean, the ceiling, for God's sake, was green.
Is that right?
Yeah. So we had to paint the ceiling, and there was so much in here that we had to do. Of course, right?
Yeah,
it comes with the territory, but it turned out really nice.
It did. It did. Yeah. Kudos to your dad.
Yes.
Absolutely. So he had the vision then for kind of the way to finish it. Or did your mom have?
Well, that's where the family drama comes in a little bit.
Yes.
My mom has the vision. Okay. My dad has to execute the vision.
This is true.
And I'm the helping hand.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Excellent. So it was a family affair then.
It was.
How many tables, how many people can you seat?
At the moment with the bar, we can seat about 30 people max.
That's a good size.
At the moment.
Yeah.
That's with the big table extended.
Okay.
We are licensed to have around about 60 people in here.
Okay.
We have had a birthday party before with about 45 people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with a small kitchen, I mean, that keeps it intimate, and it keeps the flow very well.
Yeah, I mean, with the party, we had a buffet.
Okay.
Right, because 45 people, they can't sit. Right, so we took a bunch of tables out, put a bunch of high top tables in here, and people just stood and partied. Right, It was a 50th birthday. It was a good time.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. It was
No,
good.
that
It was
is
good. It
nice.
was good.
That's a nice place to have
Thank
a
you.
party for sure.
Thank you.
And as far as your beer selection,
That's another interesting subject because a lot of people always say, "Oh, you should have this beer, you should have that beer." It's not exclusive German. We have a Pilsner Urquell of the Czech Republic, great beer, but we have European beer.
European beers, yeah.
We have a Stiegel or Stiegel out of Austria. I alternate my Radlers. In the summer we have a Stiegel Radler because it's a bit lighter.
of course.
At the moment I have a Schöfferhofer Radler. It's a wheat ale Radler.
Oh.
It just has a bit more body to it. So in the
Okay.
winter time, it's nice.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
The Pilsner, the Hackabschorz, another lager out of Munich, and a Weissbier, which is a hazy wheat ale. Very high in electrolytes, good for the hikers out there.
All right. So it's a health drink.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Good.
Designed by the gods to
Yes.
to be healthy.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No.
Like wine, it's just fermented grapes.
Exactly.
You know what's wrong with that?
Juice.
Yeah,
Grape juice.
exactly.
Yeah. So do you serve a lot of German wines as well here?
I try to. It is at times hard. The supply, demand and supply to restock.
Sure.
With the business that just opened, I don't have the funds, to be honest, to just buy cases of wine and
buying power
for a year.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
When we first opened, I had one bottle of wine and I had one beer.
That's awesome.
And then the next day I went and I bought 2 bottles of wine and one beer. Like it was really
starting out. You have to do that.
And it's interesting because we've been open for a year now, and sometimes you forget the struggle that or you don't forget it, but
because you're in it. Because you're in it all the time.
Yeah, exactly, right? And you just keep on moving.
Yeah.
Keep on moving, keep on pushing. But we really started out with I think one wine on the menu or 2 wines and just one bottle.
Yeah.
That's because that's all I had.
You don't need too much inventory. No.
And I had one beer keg, and I had to protect it with my life because the family was always, "Oh my God, beer. Yeah, we're open, we have beer. Yeah. Can I have one?" I'm like, "No,
that's for customers only."
Customers, Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's great. And you make a good point there too about just taking a step back and reflecting on the journey, because this is this is almost 4 years. Since the conception, right?
Yes. Yes. The journey. And you know what a lot of people perhaps don't realize is, to build a place and the journey you go through and the struggle, but the struggle it really inflicts on a person, on the family.
Yeah.
Me and the family, so me and my parents, we used to on the weekend just have brunch together or barbecue, sit around the fire and be silly and just have, sit in a hot tub or go out to the mountains and do things. We haven't done anything, nothing except work. And when
living and breathing this place.
And when you work every day together, you fight, you have arguments, you have good arguments, you have bad arguments. The strain it puts on relationships of friends,
of course,
everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's easier said than done. Like I can sit here and say, so I went through that and, it wasn't nice, but I'm still sitting. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's so much deeper. It's
reality.
So much more.
Yeah.
There was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of tears, a lot of gray hair. I mean, you name it.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, but we every day try to focus on the good, try to focus on what we've accomplished, try to be positive affirmations, manifestation. I never believed in that kind of stuff, but it's true.
It helps.
Well,
I mean, what's the alternative? Be super negative?
I guess.
Miserable.
Yeah. And, even if it's just a placebo, even if it's just that, it's still something that helps you to keep on pushing. Yeah,
absolutely.
But you did ask about the wine. Sorry, we ventured off a little bit.
Okay.
You did ask about the wine. I try to keep a good selection of wine. The interesting part, now I'm side questing again. The interesting part about wine is I never drink wine. I never liked wine until literally 2 weeks before we opened, and I'm like,
I should try this. The sommelier for Von Essen.
I should like get into it, and I did, as a matter of fact. I don't know what happened inside of me, but I've really come to like red wine.
All right.
Yes.
Super. Nice. Yeah, it is. I enjoy red wine over white myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really gotten into white at all. Someone once told me you get into white wine once you've gone through your midlife crisis.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, so I haven't quite gone there just yet.
You have something to look forward to then.
Yeah, exactly. I have a few red wines on the menu, a couple German ones. Again, hard to get, but yeah.
Good. How have your vendors been like to work with so far? Like where you source your food and your liquor and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to curse anybody out?
No, not really. I sourced my shout out to Wayne at Eastport Liquor. Sourcing my liquor from him.
Nice.
Great place, great guy, easy to deal with.
Good.
Thank you very much. Their patience on their end too, right? Because sometimes I had an order and I couldn't pay. Right. I'll just be honest about it. And he would tell me it's okay and maybe make a small here and there and we'll figure it out.
Get some extended terms. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's helpful. That's huge when you're starting out.
Absolutely.
So what do you love so far about Bragg Creek for business?
Definitely the interaction with the customers. It's a lot of locals here, right? The locals are great. Shout out to everyone who's been here before. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate it. We do not take it for granted. It has been an amazing journey. Just recently, I've had a couple conversations with a few people that were very, very heartfelt, to say the least. Like a journey we went through, and then talking to people who truly see you for who you are and for what you're doing and what you're trying to do. Them coming to you saying thank you.
Yeah,
that was it's
touching.
Amazing. It's touching. Yeah. And I used to not be a huge emotional guy, but that changed a little bit.
Yeah. Well, your heart and soul's in this place.
I suppose it is, yeah. And then, the other thing about Bragg Creek is if I had a restaurant in Calgary, I might have to open until 2 a.m. I don't have to do that here.
That's right. It's maybe a very reasonable lifestyle.
Maybe one day for a private event or whatever. Sure. But we advertise to be open until 9 o'clock. Obviously, when it's busy, we stay open for longer. But it's nice, it is to close up around 9 or 10 o'clock.
Get a good night's sleep and then do it all again tomorrow. So right now, your hours for operation are...
At this very moment, at noon till 9 o'clock is advertised.
Okay.
Yeah. And Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday.
That's correct.
Right. Good.
Yeah. We're planning with the idea of potentially opening Mondays as well.
Okay.
Especially a lot of long weekends fall on Mondays, right?
Exactly. Like this one coming up.
Yeah, May long weekend. That's correct. But we'll see. That's in the talks, right? That's with a lot of logistics and staff and so on.
Of course. That's something I appreciate about the business community in Bragg Creek is just how supportive everyone is to other new businesses that are coming in, like your neighbors and like Rob at Turkey and Pistols. It's encouraging when you get that kind of support locally there.
Absolutely.
Welcoming you in.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, for sure. I say shout out to Elizabeth at Best Little Word House. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. You've been amazing. She's an amazing person. Yeah. Comes in all the time.
Nice.
Sometimes she just comes in, gives me a hug and leaves. Like, wonderful,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Good. So what's your proudest business moment so far? Was it serving your first plate of schnitzel?
You would think like nailing my first receipt on the wall type of thing. There was one moment I had to step out during business hours to grab some supplies and I checked with everyone because it's difficult when you build something from the ground up and then you leave it up to other people, right?
There is that, yes.
Maybe not difficult, but it's a little bit of all right, let's see if this...
Yeah, it's a leap of faith.
It is, a little bit. But anyways, I went to the city for a couple hours and I came back and I just walked in and there was customers here and everything was just running.
Everything was okay.
Yeah, everything was okay. Yeah. The building was still standing.
The baby was okay.
Yeah, you know, and it was nice to see that because really that's the vision. When you're working yourself like a dog from the morning till the evening, every day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, every month for 4 years. You kind of stop losing your vision a little bit. Why am I doing this? Is it always going to be like this? What can I do to make it better? So on and so forth. And so when I came back in that moment and it kind of just worked, it felt like a little bit of weight off my shoulders. So if I just continue to push hard and to work hard and be honest and have faith, one day it's going to happen.
It's going to work out.
It's going to work out,
That is a good feeling.
It was a good feeling in the moment. I'm actually getting goosebumps talking about it right now.
Well, and good for you to stop and recognize it too.
Yeah. Self-awareness. And that's another thing that comes with the journey. I really must say I'm a different person. I've become a different person. I was never aware of my emotions. I just cruised through life. I had a stable job before this. I was a mechanic I specialized in fixing BMWs.
Oh, okay.
Still my favorite car brand in the world.
Ah, yes.
I had a good income, weekends off, paid vacation, those things. And I just cruised through life, blowing the money I made,
Easy come,
just,
easy go.
yeah, whatever, just going out for dinner every day and this and this and that and that.
Yeah.
So this journey really, it forms you,
Mm-hmm.
and with so many negative emotions in the journey, you come to realize you questioning a lot of things, and you're questioning yourself. And that's where my business journey started, but also my personal journey started into becoming a better version of myself.
Wow.
And I still working on it every day.
It never stops.
I'm still a huge
stops.
procrastinator. I don't like mornings.
That's good to have that. Yeah, like you say, self-awareness to be able to just take a step back and appreciate your own growth.
Yeah.
I think we kind of talked about it already, but let's touch it again. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned so far as an entrepreneur?
The value of time. I actually thought about this yesterday. The value of time is probably something I've learned or come to have appreciated a lot. Through our process here, building this place, we still have huge family back home, grandparents, sister, aunts, cousins, and so on and so forth, friends, of course. We haven't gone, we have now, but at the time, we didn't go visit for 3 or 4 years.
Right, yeah, you were immersed in this place.
Exactly, and so... my grandparents, I love them dearly, absolutely, but they're gracing the 90s. And so 4 years ago, they were 85, right? So like with age, there are things, right? Health complications, health oopsies, this and that. They don't get younger. They're not going to be around for forever. Of course, knock on wood, right? But so as an entrepreneur and doing the thing, and grinding work time and work-life balance, if you can afford it.
Right.
And not from a money standpoint, but, time-wise.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
Once again, time.
Yeah.
If you can afford work-life balance, it's so important.
Absolutely.
So important. And to stay connected and grounded.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right there.
Sometimes you just immerse yourself into it, right? And you stay immersed for so long.
The time
until
everything's
happens,
a blur.
And then, everything is a blur. We started this thing 4 years ago. 4 years.
4 years.
It feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
I just turned 33.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
That's
the essence of time.
Yeah.
Is what I have come to appreciate, and the effort you make to be connected to the people around you.
Yes.
And not just your business.
Yeah.
Of course, business is important. For
sure.
That's what I'm here for. We are here for business.
Of course.
But you really have to step back and think of the people around you as well.
What's your favorite business in Bragg Creek so far? Aside from Von Essen.
Once again, I have to shout out to, that's an easy question for me. I have to shout out to Rocky's Tavern.
Rocky's.
Ben, Emma, Darian, love you guys. And that's another thing where time comes back to shine. I haven't been able to make it over there in so long,
and they understand.
I hope so. I would hope so. Yeah. I get here at 10 a.m. I leave here at 10 p.m. I go home, I shower, I sleep, I wake up, repeat.
And
then
repeat.
On the days that I have off per se, I do errands, I do payroll, I do taxes, I do office work, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I work in the city on the side just to
help pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills.
Right?
Because with a new business, there's not much left over at the end of the month.
No.
So it's been a journey, but I appreciate it. I still appreciate it. But favorite business, Rocky's Tavern, love them. I worked there for 2 years, bartending for 2 years. It used to be riots, huge parties, concerts. Thing was packed, slamming drinks left, right, and center.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of where a little bit of my bartending journey started.
Get a taste for it.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think somebody should have within themselves to be able to go out and start their own business? You've done it. You've worked for people before. You're still working for people, and now you're out on your own. And you got business partners for sure. But
yeah, correct.
But to get to the point where you are now, what did it take?
Countless and endless sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Grit.
Perseverance.
Every word I can find in the book.
Do you think you underestimated the effort that it would take?
100%.
Is that right?
100%. Oh,
Most entrepreneurs are so they're cockeyed optimists.
I was a cocky bastard.
It's going to be a walk. It's going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
I thought, of course, like it's gonna take some work, but
yeah,
holy mother of God. Yeah.
There's always challenges, unforeseen challenges sometimes.
For sure. Unforeseen challenges, and it's not just what we talked about a little bit, about building the restaurant. It's also there's so many aspects that you don't know. There's so many things that you don't know that will be presented to you one way or another, and you will have to figure it out. Right. And if you don't want to, or you're too tired, well, too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
Right? The sun keeps on shining, the clock keeps on ticking. Tourism is not for the weak.
No,
it's not. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm still presented with things. Oh, okay, I got to do this. I got to do that. Right. In German, you say Schweinehund. It's like the little devil on your shoulder, right? Stay in bed, stay in bed, stay in bed.
All right.
You have a glass of wine on a Friday evening too many. You got to get up on Saturday and go to work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Love for what you're doing, believe in what you're doing. And that's another thing that's so hard sometimes is if you're presented with nothing but problems. And,
oh my God, it grates on you.
To keep believing, to keep pushing.
Yes.
So you really have to have that. It's easier said than like someone might look in the mirror. I'm like, I got it. I can do that. I have the strength to do it. But until you're really submerged in it, you don't really know if you've got it.
Right. Find out what you're made of.
Yeah, find out what you're made of. That's a good phrase. Partner asked me, what would you say to someone who wants to be an entrepreneur? My first word was don't.
I believe it.
It came like a bullet out of a pistol. I was like, don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was obviously that's not my recommendation for anyone listening out there. Everyone should do what they believe is true to them and what they want to do.
Yeah.
But
you really have to have a moment of self-reflection and consider what you're getting yourself into.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. My dad always had a saying. He goes, "Anybody can see the good in something. You really got to take a while to look at the bad." He wasn't the most positive person, but it's a principle of, just looking at everything, not just rosy colored glasses.
Yeah, for sure,
and the good things.
For sure.
Because when you look at it from you walk into a restaurant like this and it's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
And look, this must have been easy to do. Like, why I could do this.
Yeah. I'll trade your places, buddy.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, bring it on.
No, that's exactly it. Right. There's a lot of work, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears goes on behind that.
Man, I like I said before this, I was a mechanic, right? I worked Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. I would drive out here an hour, so I would be here around 6. I would work till 11, maybe midnight, drive home another hour. I would get home midnight or 1 a.m., shower, go to bed, 5-6 hours of sleep, wake up, do it again.
My goodness.
Day after day.
Wow.
Day after day. Same with my dad, same with my mom, my personal relationship, of course, right? The sacrifice you go through.
Yes.
That sometimes you don't realize at the moment because you're so immersed into it. Yeah. So
it's easy to take things for granted sometimes.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Those moments of reflection can help
for sure
bring everything. Yeah. Keep yourself grounded.
The self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly where I did a lot of growing. Yeah.
Good.
But I'm really grateful. I'm very grateful for what we have. I'm grateful for how far we've come. I'm grateful for our patrons and customers. I'm grateful for my partner still being on my side. Besides all the negative things, I'm very grateful for all the positive things.
Fantastic.
Right? And you just mentioned that it's easy to focus on the bad. And that's another thing where I changed a lot. I used to be a very negative thinker.
Oh, okay.
I was always a pessimist.
Is that right? Because you strike me as very optimistic.
Well,
you're very real.
Thank you. That's not until recent. I always disguised it under calling I'm a realist, but really I was a pessimist.
I have a bent to that direction as well.
And I've been, and still I'm trying, right? Because no one's perfect, but I'm working on being optimistic. I always tell everyone, it's my newest, most favorite phrase is everything you say comes true. Everything you say comes true.
Yeah.
And so Mother's Day last weekend, one of my staff members in the kitchen, he said, I have a feeling we're absolutely getting getting it today. And I'm like, everything you say comes true. And it absolutely came true. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Got slammed.
oh God, did we ever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, good.
That's exciting.
Good for business, right?
And you see the restaurant full. I mean, that must make you feel good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. It strengthens the vision. Yeah. So obviously when the restaurant is busy, I am happy, but I am more so happy when the customer's happy.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's my number one goal. I want the customer to feel happy. I want the customer to feel appreciated. I want the customer to feel welcomed and not rushed, or I don't want them to feel like they are a burden because they're here.
I mean,
Right?
I can feel it that, for your family, this is an extension of your family.
Yes.
Like it's like coming into your kitchen to have that.
It is. Yeah. My family has always been very welcoming to people, to friends. My mom, before we started this, she has, her dream was always to have a big kitchen. She's got a big kitchen now at home, and she loves, or used to, still does, but she just hasn't done it in a while, to host for, let's say, Easter brunch, and she invites God and earth, like she invites everyone, and the house is packed, and she's just in the kitchen, like cooking and making everything, and she absolutely loves it. And my family was always like that, like, come on over, we'll prepare a feast. And so we kind of just ventured out and doing it here. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Our family has a strong passion for food, and so we're carrying that forward.
Do you see a difference in the way the people in Canada kind of look at food versus the way it is back in Europe and Germany? Without
shitting on anyone, but
no, feel free to shit away.
I was raised with, you finish your plate before you get up.
Yeah, so was I.
And you know what? I truly don't care if people don't finish their meal, but people don't finish their meal.
They don't.
No, the food goes back in the kitchen and just gets scraped away. And it's, my mom's heart always bleeds. And
I can understand from a mom's perspective, like, you didn't eat, you didn't like?
and that's the question every time. Yeah. I sometimes just go, no, they liked it. Like,
don't worry, Mom.
Yeah, don't worry. And she cooks with a little bit of love.
Of course, she heart and soul into it.
Exactly. She wants to make sure that she still enjoys what she's doing. That's number one thing.
Can't lose the magic,
right? And so, like last weekend, I think at the end of the day,
that was enough.
That was enough. That was enough. Like when the last meal went out, I think there was maybe 0.1% of love left in the dish. Yeah.
She gave it all. She left it all on the table, literally.
Yeah.
What was one thing that you'd like your customers to know when they step foot through the door of Von Essen?
Our kitchen is very small.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as we appreciate everyone in here, we only have 25 seats. So our kitchen is very, very small, and sometimes it takes a minute. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, that's something we're going to try to streamline in the future. Sure. And, we've just been around the sun for 1 year. I'm sure that will all come. But
you're not making fast food here. You're making legitimate, homemade, from scratch cuisine.
Yes. There've been a few people that came in, sat down, I got to get going in half an hour. I'm like, well, I'm really sorry, sir. That's
not going to work.
That's not going to work.
Yeah. Carl's Jr.'s across the park.
That was my thought in the moment. In that very moment, that was my thought. Yeah. Love Carl's Jr.
I had some the other day.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Yeah. I mean, again, everyone's welcome. I don't want you to sit here for hours, but just don't be rushed when you come in the door. Yeah. I think that's what I would like our customers to know.
What was your favorite job so far?
Let's presume we are in the future, and this is a well-oiled and run machine.
Yes.
My favorite job will be
a restaurateur.
Being behind that bar, crafting quality, nice, beautiful cocktails for customers, and just interacting with people.
So we covered a lot, said a lot. Is there anything that we've missed so far? Anything you want to talk about?
If I could say anything else, I just want to say thank you to the community. I want to say thank you to all our patrons. I want to say thank you to all our customers. I want to say thank you for the patience at times. I'm very grateful, not taking it for granted.
Anything you want to promote? Anything special coming up that you want to talk about with the restaurant?
If anyone is not aware, my mom bakes not just bread for the customers, but she also bakes it for retail. We have a tiny little bit of retail area over there.
Yes.
We have one cosmetic brand. It's called Rayhill. Yeah. Right. So it's beef tallow. Rendered clarified beef tallow. I actually used it this morning, and I use it for my hair.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it's just a natural product that helps moisturize and stuff like that. And he's trying to kind of dip his toes into that. He's a big fan of like natural products, no
Sure.
poisonous ingredients and stuff like that. So, he's got some beef tallow over there that he's selling through our store.
Very cool.
Ray Hill, if you want to check it out.
All right. We can put the links in the
Yeah, he's got an Instagram page.
Okay.
That would be great. He would probably be very happy about it.
Oh, sure. I'm sure.
Other than that, my mom likes to cook her own jams and so on and put them up for sale.
Well, thank you very much, Dominik. We appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you reaching out. We talked about it earlier, but again, something my horoscope said, don't be afraid to step into the spotlight. And a day later, you reached out.
Is that right?
A day later.
Look at that.
And I couldn't believe my own eyes.
Fantastic.
And so
the universe is aligning.
The universe is aligning. I am a big believer of the power of the universe. Call me crazy, whatever you want. I'm just trying to figure out my own path. But I just wanted to thank you as well.
No, my pleasure.
I appreciate you reaching out. This is a first for me. This is a first for us. Never been in front of camera before. Never spoken to a mic before.
It's not so hard, right?
Yeah, I was quite nervous beforehand. Made sure I had a good breakfast. And
you've done well. Well, I wish you many years of success.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
And I can't wait to see the future for Von Essen.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
All right, Greg, just come with me. I'll give you a quick insight on what goes on behind the scenes. And you will also meet the creator of the delicious meals. This is the small kitchen.
Hi.
This is my mother and business partner, Ute Von Essen. Running our kitchen and creating your very delicious
Beautiful.
meals.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Ute.
Nice to meet you too.
That's nice. Beautiful shop there. Yeah.
All right.
Well, you guys have built a beautiful business here. We're happy to have you in the community. So
Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
we wish you all the best in the future.
Thank
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you again to Dominik and his family. Von Essen is open Thursday through Sunday, 12 to 9 p.m. Check out their Instagram and Facebook pages for their menu and gallery of Ute's creations. A friendly reminder, the Bragg Creek Chamber monthly meeting happens every third Wednesday of the month, so that means this Wednesday, May 21st at 7 p.m. Come on down and say hi and see what's happening in the local business community. Thank you for listening and watching. If you are a small business in and around the Bragg Creek community and would like to be featured on Bragg & Boat Business, please drop us a line either on Instagram or on our website, bnbb.ca. Have a great week.